Hi, I'm Papia, and in this problem, we are going to compute the area of a region. And the region is given to us in this graph. So it is the region between 0 and 1, above x-axis and below this parabola, and the equation is x minus x squared. So how do we compute area of such a region? If you recall that definite integral represents area under the curve. So if we can find what definite integral will represent this particular area, by computing the definite integral, we can compute the area. So let's try to do that. So first notice that in this particular graph, see the function is on top of x-axis, which means that y is positive throughout this interval between 0 and 1. And so the definite integral will give us this area. Now, what is the definite integral? So let's write down the definite integral. It will be integral from which two values, look at this graph again, is between 0 and 1. Those are the limits. So x equals 0 is the lower limit and 1 is the upper limit. And what goes here is the function, right? Because the function is positive. So it'll be just the parabola x minus x squared dx. This definite integral from 0 to 1, x minus x squared dx, what does that represent? It is the area under the curve x minus x squared above x-axis between 0 and 1. Look, that's exactly this region, right, whose area we want to compute. So let's just evaluate the integral. Okay, so first we have to find the antiderivative of this function. Now this is x, which means x has a power 1. So you can just use the power rule to find the antiderivative. And what is the power rule? Well, you will have x to the power 1 plus 1. You increase by 1 and then divide by 1 plus 1. The next function is x squared. Again, you can apply power rule. Power is 2, so you increase it by 1. So you get x to the power 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. And then we have to use the fundamental theorem and plug in the values 1 and 0. Okay, so let's simplify this expression first. We have x squared over 2 minus x cubed over 3. Okay, so here we are applying fundamental theorem. We plug in the upper limit first. So plug in x equals 1. And so we get 1 squared over 2 minus 1 cubed over 3. Then you subtract and plug in the lower limit, which is x equals 0. So when you do that, you get 0 squared over 2 minus 0 cubed over 3. So all we have to do is simplify, and then we will get our area. So 1 squared and 1 cubed, they're just 1, you know that. So this is 1/2 minus 1/3. And if you notice that here you have 0 squared and 0 cubed, they're just 0. And you can combine these two numbers. Common denominator is 6. And you just cross multiply. So 3 times 1 minus 2 times 1. And so you get 1/6. So 1/6 square unit is the area of this region that's given to us. That completes the problem. Thank you.